So as said, these tutorials are going to be in two halves. The first half is going to be an economics tutorial, the second half is going to be a politics tutorial. The subjects I've picked today is basically an introduction to economics, outlining positive and normative statements and the economic problem. The second half in politics is going to be about democracy. So basically, the economic problem basically outlines the fact that humans act. And the economic problem says that humans have unlimited wants and needs, but we actually have limited resources. And I think fundamentally that economics is actually the study of resources. Most people say it's the study of money. Well, that's actually finance. Also, one of the important things to understand during economics is that because resources are limited, it brings about this, well, some people got a problem, others don't. The problem with scarcity, the things that some resources can actually run out. Well, many conservatives actually argue that because if there's fewer of something, it becomes more and more costly, and therefore people will actually be put off buying them, and so therefore things like fossil fuels won't actually run out. The other thing in economics that is important to understand throughout the entire series of tutorials I'm going to put up is this thing called opportunity cost. And that's basically saying that if you can't do the very best thing, which actually most of the time you can't actually do, you have to do the next best thing. So right now, maybe you want to watch a music video on YouTube, and you really want to do that, but you think, maybe I should just see what he's doing, but I'd rather watch the music video. So basically, the opportunity cost of you watching that music video is actually watching my video right now. The other thing that's very important to understand throughout economics is this idea of positive and normative statements. A positive statement is something that actually is. So right now you're watching my video. That's a positive statement. A normative statement would be one like, you're watching my video, but you actually ought to be watching something else that may possibly get you an A in another subject, because really you should be focusing on that subject rather than economics perhaps. So that's actually a normative statement. So that's basically an introduction to economics. Now, the other thing I said I'd do is democracy. Now in the UK, we basically live in a liberal democracy. And a liberal democracy is one where there's secret ballots. Anyone can stand, well, for a fee, for election. And also there's the fact that we also live in what's called a representative democracy, where we elect people who we represent. So in the general election, we don't elect the Prime Minister, because if we directly elected the Prime Minister, he'd actually be a president. And that's a key difference between a presidency and a constitutional monarchy with a Prime Minister, where we elect the Prime Minister through voting for our local MP, and therefore we elect someone to go and vote on laws on behalf of the constituency we live in. So, for example, in the constituency of Dartford, which I live in, we almost elected with a majority Gareth Johnson, who is a Conservative MP. He got just under half the votes, and he went on to win it. And therefore, because we elected him locally, he goes to Westminster and votes on laws on behalf of Dartford. So that's a representative democracy. A direct democracy is where we directly elect laws, vote on laws, ourselves, which was originally the original democracy of Athens, where basically the rich people actually went to vote on laws rather than elect someone locally to go and sit in a parliament. But sometimes when a referendum comes up, we do actually carry out direct democracy. So I'm going to put a question to you. Do you think we should live in a direct democracy or a representative democracy? and I'll tally up the votes cast. Comment to vote. Should we live in a direct or representative democracy? And I'll announce what people think is the best idea in my next video. And next week I'll come on to... In economics I'll do GDP and GNP, and in politics I'll do an introduction to political ideologies. Yeah. This is a Yahoo Vision tutorial. Thanks for watching.